This is take 3. Hopefully the audio is cool this time. I hate when I get on this game and the audio just be jitting around like crazy, dog. Like, I'm just trying to get the content out, buddy. See? Alright, the audio sound cool. So Steph PG3 here, and I have arrived back in the Ace Attorney trilogy, man. I didn't upload yesterday. You know, had to do some stuff, so I wasn't able to upload. But today, you know, we're back on track, man. You know, yesterday kind of cooked my streak. I had the streak going on, but today, today we back in the court. You know, on February 9th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number one. Oh my, so Lawrence feels that way about me. Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Worry not. In any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Lawrence is the witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. It makes sense, Sister Bikini. I mean, because she did say she saw you in the act. She saw you. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Mr. Leasty Oxum, correct? Who else could it have been, though? It looked just like her. We seen the little picture thing. We seen it. That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well, then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed... Don't worry, I've made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I'm a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I've been entrusted. I'm not gonna lie, W. Edgeworth, man, for stepping up. You know, I do want to know, do we ever get, you know, back to Phoenix at all? I have no idea how long this episode is, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be long. We're in for a ride, man. We're in for a ride. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands, because there's no way this is about to be a little 2-hour, 3-hour thing. It gotta be longer than that. It's the last episode. They gotta go out with a bang. Especially since it's a lot of missing things here. You know, because clearly this is like, it gotta be related to Dahlia Hawthorne. Because look at this. Look at her. There's something there. We gotta get her backstory, which, you know, all that stuff about her and Phoenix. We gotta get through all that. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna take a little while for us to get in, but February 9th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. Ah, look at his blonde beard. Hey, was it good? I don't have a voice for you. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Huzzacor Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. Who? I'm not sure I'd like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor chair can only mean that the prosecution has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant... Whoa! I know... There's no way. What is she doing here? Didn't she leave? Von Karma, you're back? of course you whipping people again. You just, you still got that attention, y'all. You left, came back, you still whipping people. It's good to see you back, Von Karma. It's good. It's good, man. Franziska. The prosecution stands ready. And you are? Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Legends are a thing of the past. I am a Von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case. You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't? But I'm sure I'll... Bro, I told you there is no such weakling. What is that, a whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. But Olive, remove that whip at... I'll have no objections to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee, but there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. The promise to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today, but looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. Okay, this is so weird. like, you know, up to this point, we only had Mia and Phoenix. It's so weird that, like, B. Edgeworth going up against Von Karma. It's so weird. I see you brought your flair for historic. Oh man, my reading's cooked today, I guess. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Oh wow, the stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karma. Please give an outline of this case, with a little whipping as possible. This murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Yoxman. Damn. Like, yo, right through the back. Oh my lord. Her body was found in a temple courtyard. I'm not gonna lie, this game is pretty gruesome. Like dog. He had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. There is no mistake. This was the doing of the sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Yo, what? Bro, why is she like crouched? Or is she just legit that short? Bro, there's no way. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on here. I'm not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up and nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant lobby for our back pain. Plague, witness. Olive, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Bro, she's just that short. It's insane. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me? Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in the twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. Oh, I don't even think about seeing that, man. Wow. Why does her face jiggle when she laughs, yo? Why do they have that? Man, did Von Karma get older? What was her age? Wasn't she like 18, right? Did she get older in this time span? She had to, because Phoenix is older, right? How old was she? I don't know, bro. I forgot, dog. Her and Maya is the same age. Now that I think about it, that's crazy. That's pretty insane. Dang. Her and Maya is the same age. Wow. So that means she went up one age. So that means Phoenix is 25 in the last game, right? Because Maya is 19 in this game. So Phoenix is 25 because Maya was 18. It's kind of crazy. Like when we first met Maya, she was underage, man. She was a minor, and now she's technically an adult now, man. We really watching her grow up. Like that's crazy, right? Pearl too. Like Pearl about to be 10. We watching her grow up, man. Wow. Wow. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say then. First tell us about your own movement that night, huh? Bro, what? The night of the murder. That night, I was helping an acolyte with our training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hawthorne Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw, oh man, I tabbed A too fast, but I'm pretty sure she said saw it. So it was simply a coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hawthorne Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. You're not about to fall at the first hurdle. Nor are you, Miles Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. I bet never in Edgeworth's wildest dreams would he ever think he'd be doing this. Dang, we have nobody by our side. There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness memory and observation skills are. Wouldn't y'all think it'd be cool if Edgeworth had like his own ability or something? I think that'd be fire if he like was able to do something different from Phoenix. What is this inner temple? Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? We'll be the ones asking the questions, madam. In order to do that, a place strong and spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge, called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? It is all quite exacting and can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case. Then why did you return to Hawthorne Temple where the murder took place? Finally. That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and a fork during the cold months. This being alive is like a strict training. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right. Raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it's going to finally finish me off. You left Iris to help with what? What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. It's just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolytes so that they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in her temple, correct? Yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. So you returned to Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath. My back is to blame for everything. To do or be done in kind of word after all. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? My, what a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. Huh? I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? Ah, this is why you have to watch the young ones. Where are you going on? Ah! Pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of the low. Is there some sort of kid-me sign stuck to the defense bench? Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, you understand, so... The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? You go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway. Hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before our eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. That certainly seems to be true. There's indeed okay. Okay, let's see, man. It gotta be something like here, I'm pretty sure. Nah, it ain't really nothing. Maybe it's that one. I'd love to return. Wait, wasn't it like raining or something? It was raining, right? It was raining, I believe. No lightning, snow and lightning. It gotta be this thing. Gotta be. The statement oh dang it. Oh yeah. It's not that. I thought it was that. It gotta be that though. It's something about this in particular. Dang, we are our first time of presenting evidence with Edgeworth he fell was kind of insane. Oh yes, her testimony then, because she said she rung lights out bell at 10 p.m. So there would be no way for her to be there and here at the same time. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of the Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No? She said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of the Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. Oh, people lie. That is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Bro, you know who I will want Franziska to meet Dahlia Hawthorne. I will wonder how that interaction would go. Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means you must call your memory into question. Dear, you're older than me, yet you want to play that game, do you? Well, that isn't exactly what my memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, huh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. Then please add your comments about a boot. Why is he saying a boot, bro? Why is he saying that? Like, why is he saying that? Iris, to the testimony, and let us return to the cross-examination. She was just said like she had been at dinner. I don't think so. Because if she did, she wouldn't have this. Because y'all remember, and if y'all new here and y'all don't remember, let me catch y'all back up. Because y'all shouldn't even be watching this video. So spoilers. But yeah, she gave this hood to Phoenix. So there's no way that she could have came back dressed exactly how she was because she gave the hood to Phoenix. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I have you know. Wahahaha! Wahahaha! Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness has seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. What? Well, bro, she really, bro, bro, she really standing on crazy, dog. It's not a bad feeling at all exposed to contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order in the court. Sister, this hood, you have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A stockpile, a surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. Then this is quite strange. No, why is she whipping him so much, bro? He's not even doing nothing. If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradictions here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. After my bath. I finished my bath around 11. I thought I should return to the inner temple. When I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look in. Iris was, Mystic Elise, and with that sword of all things. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was punched out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that. This judge, his imagination's about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I committed on such a foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full names. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? Well, like, why does she do that? Like, alright. You know, it doesn't feel like she is lying. Very powerful testimony, too. She claims to have seen the incident in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only two things I can believe in right now. My client Iris and my own abilities as a defense attorney. What just came out my mouth? No, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. I said defense. How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusty Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway towards the main hall. You say you heard a noise. Thump. Just like that. That could only be the sound of a victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump. Just like that. Then this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. Wahaha! Wahaha! Oh, ho, 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 ah. The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and... This is the second time the witness has testified to seeing the defendant, but some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to... The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini tried to recall exactly who it was you saw, and as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that have been bugging me all this time. Please, don't keep us in suspense. Her hood. Her hood? That's right, it's coming back to me. Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood. Yeah, obviously, didn't we just said that? Didn't we literally just say that? I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she's giving that hood away to someone, right? Ha! You've dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? Do we think this is important? I feel like it kinda is, right? I feel like it is, right? This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Ha! I'll just work. If you want to hang yourself, you need only to ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. Okay, maybe I hope I just didn't make the wrong decision here. I really hope I didn't, bruh. Witness, add that statement to your testimony. No problem. You are sure about that? Yes, after all, we always wear the same clothes. I don't mean because we're poor, you understand. It's our style. Yes, that's it. There's absolutely no need to explain yourself. Anyway, you look different from normal, so that really stuck out. Like me holding a whippet puppet instead of my whip. At least then it might bite you and not someone else. Iris didn't have her hood on, I'm sure of it. Very well. Now, please tell us about... bro, I keep saying about, but he's saying the boot. The victim, man. Why does he couldn't even doing that, bro? He really frying me. The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct? Which means the victim's room was on the second floor. No. Hazakura Temple is a single-story building. but the mountain itself slopes downward, which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of the 2-story building. I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct? Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room after all. What makes you so sure of this? It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard. Okay? Thump, just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. It appears that the witness was not mistaken then. Yep, more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. A woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hawthorne Temple. There's only 2 of them working there. It's wrong, Miles Edgeworth. No snappy comeback remark. It doesn't feel like she's lying. This is very... okay. Alright. Now, I just feel like it's this right here. She said the stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Let's go find the police autopsy report. It's a 10 to 11 p.m. cause, loss of blood from stabbing her back. Body fell 10 feet after death. It gotta be that. There's no other thing, like, it's nothing else it could be. The autopsy report is clearly right there telling us what it is. Impressive logic, that's what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, the fall was after she was killed. Huh? That's right, it says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen in contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? God, I can't believe she's that short, bro. It's really throwing me off. Order. The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room, and she was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Yoxnum's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. The book has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. Your glorious playoff beard. It's funny that he say playoff because we in the middle of the NBA playoffs right now. I just think it's hilarious. However, if there was no blood in the room, then you claim that. Why? I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this. I'm sure Your Honor is well aware. When a stab wound produces the most blood, very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade insertion. We want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body. That would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on a wound. That's true, with the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. Order. I must admit that this is a probable version of events. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all suspicions. suspicions on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please remain standing on the crate. Bro, don't go selling me short now. Like, the weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape. Especially my back and my mood. Sister, please, give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With the whip? Oh boy. Alright. That... You talking about with the whip? That's crazy. we ain't even going... We just gonna let it go, bro. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mystic Amy was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is impossibility, Franziska von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that. Okay. Further details, man. Y'all know how this goes. We go through that. I think I should just, not do that. Do it this way. You get what I'm saying? Like, I should just, do it how I normally do. Just, like, press everything until we, come to our, what would be the evidence that we need to present. Instead of just, skipping, There are too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use the shishito from the Amy statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in his testimony, perhaps then I will begin to find the truth. That definitely doesn't make sense when you think about it. At that time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I saw any blood, not then. I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in a wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed? Think carefully, this is very important. It's Iris we're talking about. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body. It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth. Oh, I did not mean to go forward like that. So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it had splattered on the iris too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in a corner. What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further? I think we should. You always keep pressing, man. You always gotta keep pressing. So I think we should. Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. And now you say you saw the victim bleeding? Well, excuse me. I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. Pulling the sword out. Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. More like it came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine. I think we'll have to. We definitely got some evidence for this. But we gonna go through the rest. Press that. Was the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword? No mistaking it. I remember it all. Remember it all clear as day. Don't you think that's a bit odd? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? Why would the killer pull out the sword? What? If all she wanted to do was place the weapon in the hand of the golden statue, then there was no reason to remove it from the body. All that would have accomplished is causing a victim to bleed unnecessarily. Through thoughts, Miss Von Karma? That's... Indeed, it is strange now that you mention it. I'm going to need to find an answer to this mystery too. Anyway, the witness saw something terrible. What did you do after that, witness? Now, on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct? Well, I was unconscious. How long were you out for? I don't know. 10, maybe 20 minutes? A young man with a very prickly looking head woke me up. By stepping on me, actually. I'm not sure I like the method of rescue cessation. Well, I wasn't asked for mouth-to-mouth or anything of the sort. I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about then, let me tell you. I shall have words with the offender personally. What did you see upon awakening? By Mystic Amy, you are referring to the golden statue, correct? Stabbing someone with a sacred treasure is terrible enough, but then to make Mystic Amy hold the blade? Truly a heinous, despicable crime. It is easy to despise something, anyone can do it. However, there is something that cannot be done so easily. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubtly hard for you. Anyway, what is the problem? Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reason behind that? No, I don't think I can. There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. That's true, so true. In early spring, for example, I often find myself, there isn't always. That phrase might come in handy someday. There are too many. Oh, okay. Alright, so clearly is this right here, right? It gotta be the sword, because there's nothing else that you really can think to look at here. So we're gonna present the sword. We gonna see. We gonna see what needs to be said. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound like as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. It's so different, because I just feel like if this was Phoenix, she'd really be crashing out on him or something. Like, I feel like she'd be crashing out. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to the hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain. Explain yourself. To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble? I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weep should I so choose. The objection stands. I weep a little back there, must admit. That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body, up to the hilt, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't have. Where this picture right here? Like, look at that. To the hilt, bro. That hole, bro, she, like, her body would have a larger hole than that. That's... We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shitisuo. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, may still sometimes stop the blood loss. I'm not finished. There's still one more conclusive contradiction. You still got more? This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No! Order. Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising as many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one as that. But what does this all mean? We've proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is? The weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shitisuo. What? A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy, foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon? Well, it's because Mystic Amy was holding it. Exactly. However, if we reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that Shitisuo was the murder weapon. Order. So maybe the Shitisuo was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That. Answer the question, Miss Von Karma. Now, no evidence of that kind was found. You gotta be capping. Another mystery to throw into the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking. It's possible that just maybe what actually happened was it was just over there. What exactly are you going to boot here? The murder weapon, I mean, maybe. I think I know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Oh! Well then, I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible! What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Like, you gotta be capping, bro. Like, what else could you have seen, dog? You fainted on the spot. Like, what, bro? Like, you just trying to save face here at this point. Like, what else? There's nothing else. And you was out for 10 to 20 minutes, see what you said at least? No way. I saw the murder weapon I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Excuse me. Maybe they threw the weapon into the Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all. But where? I don't understand. Where could she have time to do that, though? I mean, when you see her, like, it would be like, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see her going to the main, because where was the snowmobile located? Isn't it at the main gate? We got a picture of the main gate. We don't. I wish we just had a picture so I could see it. Alright. Witness, please, tell us everything you know right away the next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape. It's my back and my age, you know. You keep talking about physical things, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with your mouth. There was a snowmobile and tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run a long way to Dusky Bridge. I don't know, bro. I don't think it was her. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in the winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. Interesting. Real interesting. We still gonna do it this way. Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there's surely a problem with this testimony. All I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. You are sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being dosed in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. Our estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister. You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct? Right, the one who trampled me. It seems she's the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand, too. Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. I thought I'd go by the main gate for a spell. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it. That's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It's parked in front of the gate. So, she had already gone and discarded the murder weapon and returned by that time. I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? Press further. I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at the time? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Mouse Edgeworth? Playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. Then answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it. Curses! It seems highly likely that the killer did use a snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. There's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved snowmobile happy as it can be. I fetched some hot water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch. Crunch. I haven't been able to find the courage to ride anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it. refresh your memory on how long were you knocked out for. Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have to concede that that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miss Miles Edgeworth? While it would have been possible time-wise, one element remains out of place here. And what would this mystery element be? That killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Miss Von Karma? What? Turning to me for help over the slightest thing? Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? What? She's as over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed the fire. Alright, so I think it's this right here, right? Now she said maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. But clearly, y'all see what we see here? I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm gonna let y'all all look. Everybody look. Y'all see what's on the ground? Footprints. And the snowmobile's right there, man. Gotta be the footprints, man. Gotta be the footprints. I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple threw the weapon in the river and then returned. If that was the case, then it naturally should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back. Ah, you're right. You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious. Oh my lord. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks? It gotta be a contradiction here, because no way this is just flawless, bro. It don't make sense. I just think it doesn't, nah. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there's a rude index finger currently pointing in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the court. To the contrary, eh? Bro, why is he doing this, bro? He frying me, bro. Say court, bro. Contrary. A boot. Dog. Evidence that the outgoing tracks are not covered by snow. Alright, so obviously it would have to be the weather, because it'd have to be this. And it was lightning and all that too. Like, nah, it gotta be this. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course, this means the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Order. Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct? No. You've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It's true, we cannot be totally sure, huh? What? How did she pull that off? It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when a murder took place. We need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far, there's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist. Miles Edgeworth? Very well then. Miles Edgeworth? I said Miles. Mr. Edgeworth? Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? What would be our evidence? They gotta be a photo of some sort. Probably not. So the only photo we got is like the photo of the crime outside of like her regular Elite's photo. So wouldn't her body be covered in snow? Like when you think about it, there will be snow on her body. There's no snow on her. So ultimately it all comes down to one point. That being whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Excuse me, of course I was referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception, and that is the victim herself, Miss Elise D'Oxnam. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in the photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Order! Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. But that joint moving fast, oh my lord. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusty Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, returned tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after a murder, which can only mean that night Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris says she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right. But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, it wasn't there. There was nothing there. I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. But that isn't possible. Order in the court. What does all this mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Yes, I've nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know. Then that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify that haven't seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? It would have to be Larry. Was there no one out walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that, unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well go wandering out in that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are 2 things about him that do come to mind, which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder, and the second being, the individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he's our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? Oh my lord, a boot. Larry, where you at, man? Laurie. This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc Leduc Guide to Obnoxious French People. This is Larry Butt, a disciple of the victim, at least the Oxford. Our student? Interesting. Why was he wandering a boot outside of the night of the murder? But that... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris. It may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, I just feel like Larry is going to come out and say what we just didn't say about how he pretty much wrote a love letter to Iris. Even though we look at it as it really like a blackmail letter, but he's talking about a love letter. What exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he's in the gallery for this trial. It would not take long to summon him. Very well, Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. And the court will now adjourn for 20-minute break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Alright, y'all know this is where we end the video. You know, this is interesting. I wonder what Larry is going to say that he saw that was, you know, so good that night. But that is the end of the video, y'all. Like, share, subscribe if you're new, turn post notifications on. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If y'all watch the NBA, I hope y'all enjoying the playoffs. I know I am. All my picks are out the playoffs, man. I had I had picked the Warriors to come out the West, but y'all know how that happened. And to come out the East, I had the Cavs, but they frauds. Now I feel like the Warriors definitely could have came out the West if Curry didn't get hurt. I just honestly feel like they was gonna win that series if he didn't get hurt. The Timberwolves was playing cool. They was playing good, but they wasn't playing that good. But as for who I'm rooting for now, I probably gotta go with the Timberwolves, man. I think the Knicks is the most complete team left in the playoffs, so it's a high chance they win. But I feel like I want the Timberwolves to win. I want Ant to get a ring. But alright, enough yapping. I'm out, y'all.